Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. Well, do you have a stuttering, freezing, locking up screensaver? Maybe you're trying to type your password back in and your computer goes wonky on you for a few seconds, so I'll let you do that. Well, I won't say there's 100% cure for this and still using your screensaver you like, because that's not up for discussion. The two screensavers that seem to be the affected ones, or the most affected at least, because I haven't tested them all yet, but Drift is definitely one, and Flurry under Mac OS Catalina. These things run flawlessly on any other Mac OS on Macs that natively run those Mac OSs, okay? Not sure about Hackintoshing a Macintosh if you have issues with it, but if you do, well, all you gotta do is keep trying different screensavers. I've been through the ropes with this one, between possible RAM issues, fix those issues, not there. SSD compatibility issues. There are SSDs, by the way, that are not fully compatible with Macs. So yeah, that could be an issue, but I found out mine's 100% compatible, as is my RAM. So RAM and that are not a problem. Thermo paste may be broken down and you're overheating and thermal throttling just on a screensaver. Well, that could certainly screw some stuff up, yes, so you might want to consider re-thermo pasting and seeing if that fixes your problem, because that may fix part of the problem but not all the problem, and it's not going to fix the problem with Flurry or Drift on the Macs that are being affected. And it's not every Mac that's being affected of Intel Macs, and this seems to be only happening to certain Intel Macs. Now, how mine got on the chopping block, I don't know, because I've had a mid-2012 MacBook Pro before with Catalina and running Flurry and Drift and had no issues. This one that I've got now has got issues with those screensavers, but it doesn't seem to be affected on Shell, and I haven't run ArbisQ, whatever you call it, long enough to find out, nor have I run Message long enough to find out. But there was a guy who did try the ArbisQ even after a fresh system reload, and it seemed to be fine for him. He had no issues. And Apple's help was, well, of no help, because as you know, Apple technicians aren't trained anymore like we were back in the day. When I got my certification for both Apple and PC, I mean, we actually had to know how to fix things, troubleshoot things properly, do board level repairs, all that sort of stuff, which, yeah, with Apple techs, most of that doesn't happen anymore, or if it does happen with troubleshooting, they just go, oh, your water sensors are gone off and that's your problem, you're going to need a new motherboard, it's going to cost you $1,800. It's like, what? You know, it's like, no, that's not an issue. Water sensors can be set off just by humidity levels alone, and that is not going to crash your Mac, okay? I mean, these guys are not as genius as they are supposedly. But, yeah, whatever, okay. But, yeah, definitely if you've had your Mac submerged, yeah, you definitely have some issues there for sure. But if you haven't gotten it wet with anything and the sensors are off, that's a humidity thing. Try lowering the humidity and maybe the sensors will just shut right back off. Who knows? I've never run across that issue, so I'm not sure about that myself 100%. I find out things like any other tech. As things happen, we find things out that we weren't trained on. So we learn these things, or we do our own experimenting too to, you know, see what goes on with what, you know, type of thing. It kind of varies, but regardless of the fact, technicians today are definitely not properly trained by any shape or form. That's why computers have become so disposable. And, you know, the Genius bars have no problem trying to do anything they can to sell you a new computer, when a lot of these problems may be a $5 or $20 part. They're going to charge you hundreds of dollars or $1,000 plus, and that's absolutely ridiculous because that's not where the problems are, okay? So they just don't know any better, that's all, I guess, I don't know. But with the screensaver issue, going back to that, PC people have reported some screensaver issues, and well, the cure for you guys running Windows may be the same cure for us, and that's just to try a different screensaver. You may not like the screensaver you pick that works flawlessly, but better to have it. You know what I mean? I mean, if you don't want to close the lid on your laptop, well, then put up with a screensaver that you don't like, but at least it'll work, right? And Shell definitely works. This other one called ArbisQ I mean, it does work quite well. I don't know if it's going to lock up on my computer, but buddy who had a Mac computer, he tried this, worked absolutely perfect, no issues. Drift and Flurry were his two big baddies too. There was another post I saw where somebody said message with clock freezes up as well. Now, I don't normally run the clock. I just run the message thing. Now, I haven't done any thorough testing on this one. I just read about that one yesterday, so I have some testing to do on that. But basically, this is what message is. Type in anything you want in the window. It appears on your screen with an Apple logo. And this one defaulted to Kevin's MacBook Pro. But if I want, I can go into options and I can type in any message I want in here and it'll put it on the screen. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'll have to do some testing there. But I have thoroughly tested Shell for several hours yesterday and throughout the night, because I ran the snot out of this since I thermopasted it so I could break that in before I do anything really hardcore with this thing. And flawless. And all day today, yep, this thing's been running. It's been running with the Shell and not one hiccup whatsoever again today. So we know Shell works absolutely flawless. Like I said, I still have to test that Arab Skew one myself. That's going to take some thorough testing to see what happens. But I do know that Drift is kind of picky. Sometimes it works fine for 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour. Other times it's immediate, kicks in and screws up. Flurry, same deal. But either way, they both screw up. Now this seems to be a Catalina complaint more than anything. But it's not across all Macs. And I've run other Macs with Catalina and had zero issues. I had another mid-2012 MacBook Pro a while back. No issues with it with Catalina with those screensavers. And those are the two that I use most commonly. And I have absolutely zero issues with my M1 running Ventura or Monterey on it with these screensavers. So, you know, could have been maybe a bug somewhere in Catalina with those two particular screensavers. And they just affected certain Macs because it's not happening to all of them that are running Catalina. So, but it is happening to a few of them. But like I said, I can't understand why this one in particular is giving me a problem when it's the same mid version 2012 as my last one. My last one didn't have any issues. And I've eliminated every possible thing that Apple suggested, other people suggested. I've eliminated all those possibilities, and to still no available, only two screensavers in particular that are being mentioned are still screwing up no matter what. But the other ones I've been playing with are not. So that tells me that there's something with those screensavers themselves that they just don't like certain Mac computers with Catalina. So anyways, that's all I can tell you on that one. As far as PC people go, your troubleshooting for this is the same as Mac people. Just try a different screensaver till you got one that doesn't screw up on you. And that's all there is to it. So there are no actual cures to get these particular screensavers to run under Catalina. So, and on a PC, there won't be any cure for you guys on whatever OS you're running, other than to try a different screensaver. Whether you like the screensaver or not, if you must use one, well, you'll have to pick one that you may not like. When you may not like Shell, or you may not like some other screensaver, but guess what? If you want one, put up with it, because that's all you're going to be able to do, because ain't nobody coming to the rescue on this one. So, that's what I got for you on that. Take it as you will. I don't mind Clam, because yes, I am leaving this computer opened all the time. I'm leaving it on all day, because I'm going to use it off and on during the day. So therefore, yep, I don't want to be lifting up the lid up and down, up and down, up and down. So I'm going to use the screensaver, and I guess in my case, so far, it looks like Clam. But I am going to do some further testings on the others too. Maybe I can compile a list together and do a video on a list of the screensavers that are here that actually do work flawlessly. But the thing is, they may work flawlessly for me, but they might not for you either. And that's another problem too. It's kind of like, I can't really hand you a cure, because there really is none, other than to try different screensavers till one works right. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Ciao.